Hello everyone, hope you all doing good. So today in our session we are going to see how to create expression rule in application. Okay, let's get started. Before going practically, let me explain you why we need to create expression rule basically. Okay, expression rules are like formulas or instructions you want to perform specific task or calculation. For example, think for expression rules as recipes. Once you write a recipe, you can use it in many different dishes without rewriting it each time. And also, if you need to change something in the recipe, you only need to update it in one place. This change will automatically be applied everywhere the recipe is used. And expression rules can adapt to different inputs and situations, allowing for flexible calculations and decisions. The same expression rule everywhere ensures that calculation and decisions are always done the same way, keeping your application behavior consistent. Okay, this is all about expression rule. Hope you got it. If you have any doubts, please comment it down below. Let's get started practically. Just go under new. Under new, you can see expression rule. Then a pop-up will be displayed here showing create from scratch, duplicate existing expression rule. So create from scratch, if you don't have any expression rule that should be duplicated, you can go with create from scratch if you want to start with a new one. And if you have any existing expression rule, if you want to duplicate that rule and need to modify if any changes, then you can duplicate that rule and you can create within your application. Okay, I just want to create from scratch. I don't want to duplicate any existing rule for now. And here you can add description, and here you can provide the name by following best practices. And here you can if you see here 7, which is folder. In our previous session we have discussed about folders, right? Basically by adding this folder, this rule will be moved to this folder, and automatically the security will be set for the expression rule. Okay, you no need to set separately security for the expression rule. So this is the main use why we created folders in our previous session. Okay, so I'm just providing test rule for now. I just want to create this test rule. This is a test rule. Please provide why you are creating that expression rule. Provide the description clearly, so whenever the developers coming newly, they will easily understand why this expression rule is being used. Even by using the name, by seeing the name and by seeing the description, they will come to know just in a high level why we are using it. I clicked on create. So here comes expression rule. Here in this panel, you will be able to code all the functions and all the logics, calculations, and instructions I mentioned earlier. You can code it here, and here you will be able to debug or test that results, and if any errors, all this will be displayed over here. And coming to here, the test cases, it is best practice to follow to add test cases for an expression rule. Even the coming users can go to test cases and check all the list of test cases, what is the input and what is the output, that we can easily understand by using these test cases. And coming here, this place, it's like a documentation. This will help you to understand each parameter. Like let's consider for functions, we will have parameters. Those functions descriptions and all will display here. I will show it to you in shortly. Let me print you one thing. Like now I just want to get return my rule date and time. So I have directly a function called now function that will return you the date and time. If you see here, the date and with that it was printed with time. So basically this will print you the system date and time. Okay, this is how we will be writing code here. And if you see, it returns the current date time as a serial number, returns date time, so the output should be date and time. This is how the documentation helps you in understanding and reading. And here you can test and debug it. Like if you are not providing this, if you are providing in this way, if you forgot to provide, then automatically the expression rule pushes you a syntax error. And even when you are testing here, there will be an error will be popping up. as a result. Okay, in that way we can correct it. So, and also I do want to practice more. I am just providing logged in user. Okay, so logged in, I just want to print who is the logged in user. Okay, so me is the logged in user that was printed. I just want only first name to be printed. So for that we have functions available. So user function we do have. In that user function, it clearly shows you the two parameters. First parameter is username, which I am passing logged in user, and the second parameter is you should separate it by comma. After each parameter you should separate it by comma and you should write. Okay, and the second parameter is property. I am giving it as I just want to get the first name. If you see first name, middle name, last name, these are the parameters which I can get from the username. Okay, even it describes how how user function is used, and how we need to use this documentation and all will help you to understand in writing the code. It is very easy. In order to write expression rules, you should be familiarized with the functions available in Appian. So try to explore in the documentation, go through the functions, Appian functions, and check it out. Once you got a use case problem statement, just try to explore in the documentation and find the best function to use it. Okay, now this is how we execute and we see. And also, if you go to test cases now, it will show like since we have coded, it shows create new test cases. Earlier it is empty. So in latest releases we got like generate test cases, where system automatically generate test cases for you. Let me show you that. Just click on generate test cases, so you will be able to see. Just it will take a little bit of time, then it will execute it and show you all the kinds of test cases, like null scenario, positive scenarios, and negative scenarios. All the kinds of scenarios it will show you up. You can explore it, and I'll explain you these things now. Let's consider I am giving space and my ending brace is at the below. So where is there is opening here, but where is the ending? So I want to scroll down and see there is a lot of space in between. Why is it needed? Even that space as well, it will consume in the memory. So I'm just formatting it so it became in one liner. Okay. And if you want to format in any ways, you can do it. And also you can add a comment if you are putting any logic. So you can add comment at the above, so that the new developers coming inside, so they will understand why this logic is written. So this is the function that will return the first name. So this is how you can comment it. So the users who are new, they will understand why they are using this function. So in this way you can select the whole text, and you can if you want to uncomment it, just select the whole thing and just do uncomment. And again, if you want to comment it, just select that line and you can comment it. Okay, and also you have ability to search. If you want to search where is the first name, if it is 506 lines of code, if you want to search quickly, you will this feature is very easy for you to use it. Okay, and if at all, if you want to rename something rule inputs, or if you want to rename some local variables, or if you want to rename anything, you can search that like I want to rename first name to last name. Okay, so wherever we have I see in two places first name is being used, so I'm just replacing with the last name. So this is how replacing thing happens. Okay, now coming with domains. These are the very important thing. A bank, we call it as A bank, cons bank, portal bank, record bank. This ending exclamation mark, we call it as bank. Okay, A bank, basically you can highlight over here and you can see the description, like it is used for various systems, smart services, connector functions, interface components. All these we will be using. A bank local variable, A bank form layouts, A bank text field, those kind of stuffs we will be using. And cons bank, if you want to call any constant. So in your expression rule, if you want to call constant, you will be using cons bank. And if you want to call portal bank. And record, if you want to call record, you will be using record type bank. And within this expression rule, if you want to call another expression rule, then you will be using rule bank. And if you want to use this rule in different rule also, you will be using rule bank. And if you want to call interfaces or integrations, those we can use the rule bank. Okay. If you create site object, that site bank, and translation type and data type, basically whatever the custom data types we are creating, that we can by data type. And translation, if you are using any translation, you can use translation bank. This is how these things domains are used. Okay. And now coming to here, you will be able to see all the kinds of functions available here. You can directly go here and see all the kinds of function, or you can go to the documentation and see all the types of function. And if you see what are the logical functions available, and false, if condition not, all the functions you can automatically get here. And coming to icons, earlier in previous versions, there is no icons feature available, and now it made it easier to pick the icons. Earlier we used to go like go to documentation, get the icons, copy the icons and paste it here. That is how we have done. Now Appian made it easier to pick the icons. And if you have any values, any constant, if you want to create, you can create. If you have hard coding anything like number, if you want to maintain in a constant, you can create that constant, create once and use it in multiple places, even the constant if you want. Okay. And if you want to create within this expression rule, if it is exceeding more than 500 lines of code, after 500 lines of code, or some logics you can create in sub expression rules, so the performance will be maintained. And here comes query editor. In this query editor, we can able to query data from the database. This we will go through it later. And here comes translation set. If you tell you want to create any translation string, if you want to add any translation string, you can add it. So this is all about expression rule. Hope you all got it. If you have any doubts, please comment it down below. Thank you.